2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429 is not just another addition to the Mustang lineup. It's a statement, a revival of one of the rarest and most legendary muscle cars ever created. The Boss 429 returns to the modern era with a mission: to remind everyone that raw American muscle can still exist in a world dominated by hybrids, EVs, and turbocharged efficiency. But make no mistake, this isn't a simple nostalgia project. The 2026 Boss 429 takes everything iconic about the original and reimagines it for today, combining brute force power with cutting-edge engineering. It's a car built for enthusiasts who demand presence, performance, and heritage wrapped into one. Start with its heart, because that's what made the Boss 429 famous. Under the massive hood sits a naturally aspirated 7-liter V8, yes, a modern reinterpretation of the original semi-Hemi 429. Ford calls it the 429X V8, and it's a masterpiece of modern muscle engineering. Built with forged internals, titanium valves, and advanced cooling channels, this engine pushes out an astonishing 825 horsepower and 760 lb-ft of torque without a single turbo or supercharger. It revs beyond 7,200 RPM, delivering that mechanical roar that no electric motor can replicate. Ford has paired this powerplant with a Tremec 6-speed manual gearbox as standard, because a car like this deserves to be shifted by hand. For those who prefer modern convenience, a 10-speed automatic with performance tuning is available, but purists know this car was made for the clutch pedal. Performance numbers? Brutal. 0 to 60 happens in just 3.1 seconds, the quarter-mile blaze is passed in under 11 seconds, and top speed is rated at 208 mph. But what's even more impressive is the way it delivers its power. Instead of relying on instant boost or hybrid torque fill, the Boss 429 delivers a rising wave of power that builds with every gear, giving you that classic muscle car experience but tuned for the precision of today's track demands. Launch control, variable drive modes, and a track-calibrated stability system help tame the beast, but the Boss was never about being tame, it's about being alive in your hands. Visually, the 2026 Boss 429 is unmistakable. Ford designers leaned heavily into the aggressive character of the original, then dialed it up for the modern age. The hood is massive, with a functional scoop that feeds air directly into the engine. The stance is wide and low, with swollen fenders housing 20-inch forged alloy wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. The front fascia is dominated by a blacked-out grille, functional cooling ducts, and LED lighting signatures that give the car a predatory glare. Around the back, a ducktail spoiler pays homage to classic designs, while an active aero system integrates seamlessly to add downforce at speed. Quad titanium exhaust tips sit neatly under a sculpted diffuser, and their sound is nothing short of thunderous. Ford offers the Boss 429 in exclusive heritage colors: grabber blue, Wimbledon white, and candy apple red, along with modern metallic finishes, but every car carries the 429 badging proudly across the sides and rear. Step inside and you're greeted with a balance of retro inspiration and modern technology. The cockpit is driver-focused, with deep bolstered Recaro seats that hug you in place, trimmed in leather and Alcantara with embossed Boss 429 logos. The steering wheel is flat-bottomed, suede-wrapped, and fitted with performance toggles for drive modes and launch settings. Ahead of the driver, a 12.4-inch customizable digital cluster pays tribute to the old analog gauges, with themes that mimic vintage tachometers and speedometers. In the center sits Ford's 15.5-inch Sync 5 infotainment display, compatible with wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, and an optional B&O 14 speaker sound system. But the tech never overwhelms. The interior is stripped of clutter, keeping the focus on performance. Even the rear seats are optional, because weight reduction matters when you're building a car that honors racing history. Speaking of racing history, the Boss 429 was born as a homologation special for NASCAR back in 1969. Ford built less than 1,400 units originally, making it one of the rarest Mustangs ever produced. The 2026 revival leans into that heritage with special production numbers. Only 4,290 units will be built globally, making each one instantly collectible. Each car comes with a serialized plaque, signed engine build certificate, and the option for track delivery experiences at Ford's Performance Center. This isn't just a car you buy, it's a legacy you become part of. Handling is another area where the new Boss 429 steps far ahead of its predecessor. Built on Ford's updated S650 Mustang chassis, it features magnetic ride control, adjustable coilover suspension, and a widened track for sharper stability. The brakes are monstrous Brembo carbon ceramics, 5-inch rotors with 6-piston calipers up front and 4-piston at the rear. steering is precise, with electronic assistance tuned to feel natural and weighty. Whether you're carving through mountain roads or hammering down a straightaway, the Boss feels planted, responsive, and alive. Ford has ensured it's not just about straight-line speed, it's a true performance machine that can go toe-to-toe with modern sports cars from Europe and Japan. Of course, the world today is shifting toward electrification, and the Boss 429 makes no apologies for being a raw, gasoline-powered monster. In fact, Ford positions it as a tribute to the golden age of muscle, giving enthusiasts one last taste of unfiltered V8 power before emissions and regulations make cars like this extinct. The exhaust system alone is engineered to deliver a symphony of sound, with adjustable modes that range from stealth to track. In track mode, the sound is ferocious, echoing the thunder of NASCAR glory days, while in stealth it keeps things neighbor-friendly. But nobody buys a Boss 429 to be quiet, it's meant to be heard. Price: exclusivity comes at a cost. The 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429 starts at $165,000, positioning it well above the standard GT and even the Shelby GT 500. With options like carbon fiber wheels, a track package with roll cage and harnesses, and bespoke paint finishes, prices can climb beyond $190,000. But Ford knows the buyers for this car aren't looking for bargains, they're looking for something special, something historic, something that feels irreplaceable. And in that sense, the Boss 429 delivers. When you stand back and look at what Ford has created, it's hard not to be impressed. The 2026 Boss 429 is not just another performance car, it's a rolling tribute to one of the rarest Mustangs ever built. It's a machine that blends heritage with modern engineering, giving enthusiasts the soul of a classic and the capability of a modern supercar. It's loud, unapologetic, powerful, and rare. In short, it's everything a muscle car should be. In an era where cars are increasingly quiet, efficient, and digital, the Boss 429 roars back as a reminder that sometimes, raw emotion is more important than perfection. The return of the Boss isn't just about horsepower or numbers, it's about presence, passion, and history. For collectors, it's an instant legend. For drivers, it's a chance to feel alive every time they turn the key. And for Ford, it's proof that even in 2026, muscle cars still have a place in the world. The Boss 429 isn't just a car, it's a legacy reborn.